Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Batman Arkham City. So we're doing the Harley Quinn sequence DLC, and now we need to go interrogate different targets to get the code to get into the shipyard. So they're stretching the game out a little bit more. We've pretty much determined though that there's not really a reason to try and clean up the city. These enemies very obviously respawn quicker than they would in the main game. So
Can't believe Jay's dead. It just don't seem right.
if anything, it kind of makes an argument for okay, we now know there are some balloons on the ground. Yeah, I guess there is an argument now for
Harley should just go get herself some help. Give up on this revenge kick she's
for
on.
being on the ground and looking for the Harley Quinn balloons from that perspective as much as from the in the air perspective. These guys do have guns, but against Batman they're not going to be that much of a challenge. Whereas I could drop down here and take on those guys. So I think what we probably...
Piece of strange. Is that his ear? Just some piece of rotten meat.
That's gross. Yeah, I guess your best guess would be that if you are in detective mode and you see a bunch of armed guys, probably not a balloon there. If you see unarmed guys, maybe a balloon there. That could be totally wrong. Certainly
Gordon wouldn't be dumb enough to let
could
more
be
of his
that the
cops get
balloons
caught.
are just everywhere and anywhere. We know there's only 14 of them in the entire game. And so our first interrogation guy, notice how they kind of look like they're just sliding around and not walking.
Dumbass cops
Right,
should never have
that's
gotten
weird.
themselves caught.
Like when you get
What happens
closer,
now
you
is
can
their
definitely
fault.
see in their skeleton that they're taking step. But when you start to get further away, the physics is turned off on them and they're not moving their legs. They're just these blurs that are sliding around like chess pieces.
We can't just off the cops and get the hell out of here.
So yeah, there's a decent chance we'll get a map showing us where all the Harley Quinn balloons are. There's a decent chance we'll find them all just by
Never
being
liked cops.
somewhat
Hope
thorough.
Harley sticks it to 'em good.
So yeah, we'll zoom around with the camera when we're in a specific spot, do a quick 360. You can see now the physics has been
How
enabled.
come I don't get the chance to off one of those pigs?
Right. We are looking to grab a ledge and do a ledge grab on this. Let's see. We want this.
Harley's gonna start dating again.
That thug's got the code. I need to leave him until last so that he tells me what I want to know.
It's a lot of guys. You would kind of think that the chain link fence.
Don't dare show his face around here.
And I could take them all out without even being super thorough on this, since I am playing as Batman. Because the only other thing...
Still here. Still freezing my ass off.
Yeah, I could easily just go into disruptor mode, take this guy,
What? Damn gun.
well.
Hear what they say.
This way, he went this way.
Alright, let's take out this guy.
Over here, I got him. He's over here.
And then take out this guy.
Cold as hell.
And then just press Y to interrogate.
The code. Give me it, or get ready to hurt.
Here it is. Please, I don't want any trouble.
Too late.
So I kind of boned that up a little bit,
That's one code. I need 2 more.
but you get almost a full refill on your bulletproof upgrade anyway, so there's no big concern there. By the time I engage the next group of thugs, I could very possibly
Bad feeling about
be
all this.
at full health or near full health just by taking out a small group of weaker thugs. And if these Harley Quinn balloons are
If I see
hidden
Batman,
particularly well,
one of them other two-cutters, I'm sticking a
then
bullet between their eyes.
it's totally believable that there would be like one specific balloon that I just miss. Okay. Next one is over here. We see
Cold does it have to be
a
before
sniper
someone
here.
thinks to give us codes?
What was that?
One
and
way or
I'm just
another,
being
those
really,
cops are
really
dead.
thorough. Okay. Seems like we probably want to take out this sniper guy, so we'll once again
Harley off the pigs and let's get the hell out of here.
make a special effort to make sure we get rid of everybody. This is one thing I said where Catwoman being able to take a corner here and Batman not being able to do that would have potentially created a scenario where Catwoman would have been a on the same level different play style. You could potentially have Batman lose a decent amount of his
Just get this done and get the
abilities
hell out
to
of
other
Arkham City.
characters like Catwoman.
Freeze it here.
Make Batman more of the tank-like character in all scenarios. Okay, so
I never liked
the
cops. Hope Harley
guy we're
sticks to
looking
him good.
for is there, and so he was pretty much centered around sniper guns. So that wasn't a waste of
Cold does it
time.
have to be before someone thinks to give us codes?
In fact, this whole setup seems very well suited around the idea of just doing the ledge grabs on all of them.
Wait to get out of this place once and for all.
And there's a Harley Quinn statue. So the entire city has been reskinned for Harley Quinn's revenge.
Figured Gordon wouldn't be dumb enough to let more of his cops get caught.
It's just one guy. I don't think I kill him if I glide kick him, so I'll just glide kick him
Still freezing my ass off.
and then interrogate that way.
Give me the code.
Yeah, no problem. See, I'm doing what you wanted.
There was never any doubt in my mind.
Still getting just don't seem right.
Yeah,
One more
honestly,
code, and I can break Harley Quinn's security system.
it does feel like Batman should be the insanely cruel and violent character, and you should see the Robins and Batgirl be much more restrained about how they take out bad guys.
Gotten themselves caught.
I guess I can use the helicopters
It's
also,
their fault.
if there is any reason to use the helicopters. I don't know if there is. I mean, it's totally believable that there might be a balloon here. Notice there's a boat blocking off this area, so I don't think my
Rydo,
line
get the
rider
jizz
would.
off one of those pigs.
Yeah, it's actively blocking your way. And this was the area that specifically always had that weird sound effect playing, even though I could never find what that Joker laugh sound effect was all about. Yep.
We just get this done and get the hell out of Arkham City.
We can
Freezing here.
tell we're quickly running out of lines of dialogue, and they're getting very repetitive. But that was always a problem with this game, is that there was not enough
This place is
generic ambient lines of dialogue. Don't think that's a balloon. If we don't get a map
Does it have
for
to be
where
before someone
all the balloons are, it is very possible
thinks to give us codes.
we'll never find one of them. And it's also very believable that we would be locked in some kind of mode where, is that a guy?
We just get this
Interesting.
done and get
It's,
the hell out of Arkham City. I'm freezing
it's not
here.
marked as a guy, so no, it's not. It's just a hole in the wall. Yeah, it would be believable if we had a system where we can't actually get the last collectible because it just kind of locks us out from that possibility. There's one armed guy there that we don't really need to care about. There's a couple armed guys here we do need to care about.
Face around here.
We've been mostly around this area already, so the odds of a balloon being around is fairly low. It's only two guys, so
So freaking cold.
if I could get both of them in a glide kick, that would be really cool. Glide kick.
If a cop is stupid enough to come to Arkham City, he deserves all the torture he gets.
Okay, and see, while that doesn't have me exactly where I want it to be, it's good enough.
Figure those cops are just a trap to get Batman.
Let's do a dive bomb and explosion and see if that kills this guy. I guess I have to make the range.
Did it ever...
There you go. So that was not fast enough to knock out even one guy. So now we are mostly just now going for combos and countering, so we don't take a whole bunch of damage. One more guy. And then we interrogate this guy.
The code. Now.
Please don't hurt me. Here it is.
These Harley Quinn thugs definitely have a new artistic style to
That's
them.
all the codes. Next stop,
Which is
Harley Quinn.
interesting, but you kind of know it never gets used again, which is kind of a shame. Even in the mature Harley Quinn cartoon, there aren't like generic thugs that she collects, at least for the first season that I've seen. Instead, they give her henchmen who are actually like unique characters and interesting characters. Only video games really need the concept of a thug who is just a generic bad guy that Batman can fight endlessly.
Those cops are dead.
Let's make sure we're going in the right direction. Yes, we are. Shipyard. So, yeah. We'll just do some Batman flying, which you never really do a lot of this. Apparently we can't grab the ledge over there. And this would have been where Black Mask escaped. And doesn't seem like there's anything special there. We do know generally that there are bad guys around here. Interesting, the balloon did catch people's attention. That sure makes the argument that the balloons should have been throughout the entire game. Yep. If there was perhaps an infinitely spawning amount of balloons that you could pop, and you just were getting a counter to destroy any 200 of the balloons, that would be more interesting, because then you could have the balloons be a part of the game regardless of whether or not you got 100% of them or not. Let's see. Hideaway. I got an achievement for that, so that probably means that we're going to run through this section and get captured. Your next Batman. Yep. It would be weird if Harley Quinn became more sane once the Joker was out of the picture.
Just chill out, man. You're safe.
Alright, so we are in the exact same pump room that Robin found us in, which does imply that we probably will go back to playing as Robin.
It's a secret base, right?
What about Batman? That kid he hangs out with.
He's keeping a low profile since he killed Jay. Come on, Batman didn't kill Joker. That crap he injected himself with at the asylum killed him. You saw what he looked like. Not how I heard it. Then you heard wrong.
Well, I heard it from Harley, and she should know. She was there.
No, she wasn't. I was outside the theater with her. Batman just came out carrying. It's the freaking Bat!
Yeah, I don't see the point here of this.
Come and fight me! Get down here and fight, Bat!
So you have a decent amount of people here. Like, so I don't see how you end up dying against any number of these enemies. It would be very hard. Like, you just have too many abilities and opportunities to pull off a good attack. Right. Get rid of the stun guy. And then we get rid of the gun guy. And then take out the armored guy. And I didn't even get my health below the halfway point. A lot of this is just throwback to Arkham Asylum content. I really have to question though, what was the point of this? Like, it doesn't feel to me like this would have dropped at any point. So moving further this direction, seems really unnecessary. Unless we're gonna try and jump through there. And see, I guess this door, that's the door we came through and that they were welding up previously. And then that's the door I guess you're supposed to leave through. It's totally believable that there would be a extra collectible in this direction, but it doesn't seem like there really is. So unless there is some trick here where you're supposed to like jump over that, which I don't believe there is. Just kind of feels like that's there for no reason. And this is the door that Robin went through. This wall wasn't here before. So with Line Rider, you can go this way, but the door's locked, which means we can go this way. And that does make the argument, I think, that the collectible probably would have been found, the the destructible balloon. And I assume that this door is just locked. And so we had to go through this door. Looking around. It would be interesting if you, when walking up these stairs, you start to see hallucinations of the Joker, and you start to see Batman breaking down mentally. But honestly, if he's gonna break down mentally, I don't think he would do it on the mission, not without some like toxic gas being injected into him or something. As long as he can't focus on things, he's probably going to focus on those missions.
I can't guarantee you'll stay that way. Look around. If I don't kill you, one of my friends up there will. Go on. Look. You see those sniper rifles? Real nasty. I hear they can target little tiny bits of you and blow them off one at a time. Oh, come on. It can't be a surprise.
So we have like 9
I mean,
more
look, I'm one of the
balloons.
bad guys, right? And you're one of the good guys. We just don't get along. It's the way it is. Nothing we can do about it. So, no matter what I do to you, you know that eventually, if you're still tied up, and I'm still able to do it, I'll kill you. Huh?
You spoke to get away.
So I assume I wasn't supposed to be... I was supposed to get down a little bit better than that. I assume that some of these guys are not going to immediately set off alarms. Right.
I've got this way covered.
What?
On me! I got him! Batman's back.
I don't think I have a smoke pellet. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this off as nicely as I would have liked to. Like, honestly, at this rate, I think the odds
Wait.
of I barely have a sliver of health left, so yeah, succeeding here, I really shouldn't succeed, but whatever. We'll do it anyways and just be done with it.
Tied up here, Batman. Please get me out of this thing.
And see, I guess he's probably not really a cop. That'd be my guess. Yeah, I suspect this is a very awkward... That was an incredibly awkward way to solve that. When there's a lot of opportunity for stealth and trickery and a lot of
Tied up here,
just
Batman. Please get me out of this thing.
random things I could have thrown a bat ring at, for instance, to make a distraction. We're looking around now just for any balloons, which I suspect there's probably at most one, but
Tied up here,
one
Batman.
more, that is.
Please get me out of this thing.
I also wouldn't be surprised if there actually aren't any more. Harley Quinn was a psychiatric doctor before she went crazy, so there is an argument for a genius level intellect there.
I'm tied up here, Batman.
So
Please get me out of this thing.
her potentially having better plans than the Joker would be very understandable. In fact, it would kind of work very nicely to say, well, now that the Joker's insanity is no longer overriding better decision making that Harley Quinn would make, she might turn herself into a mob crime boss type character that is way more competent than the Joker ever was, because she might literally manage to run an empire better. Of course, she'd probably have to get rid of half of her thugs because they're just too dumb and too crazy too.
You're safe.
And she very well may have to put up a appearance of insanity.
Does it hurt? Too bad. Come on, boys.
What's it doing?
Hurry up, idiots.
Come on. Don't piss off Harley.
So Batman doesn't have his gadget belt now, and something's blinking there as far as a tracking signal, but apparently Robin didn't know about that tracking signal. And so now we're back to modern time, 2 days later.
Tim, what's going on?
This
Have you
is
found
Tim
him?
Drake.
Kinda.
What does that mean?
He doesn't
Don't
put
worry.
on the
I
bat
think I'm
belt.
close. I'll let you know.
So, okay. These are a different group of people who were knocked out, and probably in different positions than where I actually knocked them out. Yep. So, when I was in this area as Tim Drake and Robin, I didn't really get an opportunity to wander around so much. So, would like to try and make sure there isn't another Harley balloon that got inflated and placed in. Let's see, we came from this door, which I suppose means we could try to go through this way and back over here as Tim Drake. Although I don't suspect that there really will be anything different. Interesting, it seems like Tim Drake's life is lower than it should be, either because of
Batman must be nearby. I should keep looking for him.
either that or they're sharing life from Batman's life bar. Right. Yeah, I guess there's nothing here. Let's see, you always, love you always, Mr. J. Rip my angel. This would be interesting if this was a creepy memorial path.
5 minutes with the bat. That's all I need. Payback for Joker. He's just up there, right? What's stopping you?
Okay.
Nothing, I guess. Then do it. March in that room, climb up and teach
Giant
that man a lesson.
wrist
We'll watch.
with Titan.
Get up there.
No, I can wait. Harley's got a plan. Don't want to get in the way, do I?
Is it hard being a little chicken?
I'm not chicken. I'm just doing what I'm told.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So I guess you don't really have much of an opportunity. I can zip kick this way. The snipe bomb doesn't, I think, do anything. I don't know if the shuriken has any kind of reverse shuriken. Is that the one I want to really release it on? I don't think I really have a choice.
This won't take long. We'll be quick.
Stake on this guy. Try and cram that guy. Now, there's a decent amount of characters all in one area, so I could explode people. I can potentially try and throw a shuriken into the smoke.
You're gonna die here.
Yeah, but I really think that was more of a case of my health was just fairly low.
Oh no!
low.
You're all dead! Who's gonna save Batman now?
Of course, it kind of breaks the idea that Harley Quinn is really broken up about the Joker being dead if she makes quippy game over signals. And yeah, honestly, the quippy game over stuff
That's all I need. Payment for Joker.
is unnecessary.
Just up there, right? What's stopping you? Nothing.
I totally
Then do
did
it.
that wrong.
March in that room, climb up and teach Batman a lesson. We'll watch.
We'll take
Hey,
the
I'll help you get up there.
corner cover.
I can wait. Harley's got a plan. Don't want to get in the way, do I?
Is it
Start
hard
this.
being a little...
And run. See if we can take this guy out before anybody decides to take out anybody else. It still feels far too much like you're just mashing buttons when you are fighting these kinds of guys. They really are just kind of nothing as far as real strategy. Which is funny because you would expect in a NetherRealm's Mortal Kombat game for it to be much more of a combo system where you actually are like not mashing buttons. And that's just seemingly not existence in this game, which uses the same engine. But also, I haven't played a Mortal Kombat game in an extremely long time, so it's like Mortal Kombat 1 or 2, so it is possible that the later instances of Mortal Kombat have become much more button mashy and less around the idea of actually skill-based gameplay. Seems like we're going to be fighting the Wonder Robots, which they could definitely be damage sponges. Otherwise, seems like Batman may be back there in the globe. And that's it, although that could also not be Batman. So here's a question. If I was to do this, and then
I found him.
Thank God.
walk too far and then start a cutscene.
Quinn's got him trapped.
We'll get him out of it.
Harley's built some kind of monument to the Joker, and it's stopping me from getting to Batman. Looking at this place, she's crazier than we thought. I'm gonna search the area and try to work out how to save him.
So it seems like he's building up pressure. Batman's just sitting there doing nothing. We have an electric thing here, which on the side of that door would, I think, open another area. Nothing electric there. You've got a lot of scribbling on the walls, certainly. One of the things about the Harley Quinn Showtime mature comic series that changes, it kind of drastically changes up Harley Quinn's origin story and shows her to have been basically crazy from childhood, and it severely under includes the Joker, and in fact Harley Quinn is basically broken up with the Joker and hates him in the series, which that would be a natural progression of a character possibly at some point, but in the comic book universe you're never really allowed to progress a character, or very rarely are you allowed to progress a character. That's why there are 3 Robins or 4 Robins, is because as soon as you replace one Robin and let them grow up, you need another child Robin to replace them. And Batman as a character never really changes or grows. The Joker as a character never changes and grows. Like, comic books are designed, for better or for worse, to always reboot and reset everything, so you can't really ever make any significant long-lasting changes. I think in part of that certainly is the fact that you only have writers that are they're not like usually permanent employees writing comic books, even the big comic books like Batman. So they're not given 4 or 5 years to write Batman, or what you would expect is a more reasonable career of you're going to spend 25 or 30 years writing Batman. You can evolve the story over those 30 years. They're given 6-month runs, 1-year runs, 2-year runs before, after about 2 years, DC is on to its next reboot, and at that point anything you'd written about Batman is not really canon.
The security panel appears to control the statue. Batman will die in there if I don't find the key. I guess I should go find Harley Quinn and ask her for it.
Obtain the key card.
How does it feel? Do you think he knows he's gonna die? I hope so. I want him to know how my Joker felt. That's why I get to watch it happen from my secret room. You'll never find us. You don't even know that there's a shipyard here, do you?
Harley, I think you may have told him.
You should ignore what I said. I was joking. Yeah, that's it. Bye.
Yeah. That certainly makes it feel more like Harley Quinn is is crazy than intelligent.
Found anything?
Nah, it's just full of crap. The rest of this place.
Keep looking. There must be something here. We need money,
Left
man.
trigger.
It's the only way we're gonna get out of this crazy town.
And then right
Think by
trigger.
the time you're searching through a bunch of random crates for a solution, you've pretty much run out of options. We're screwed.
Don't give up. We'll find something. Maybe a weapon we can sell, or some super villain secret
Okay.
stash. It happens, don't it?
So we now finally figure out what Snap Flash does, although I don't know if that's really going to work well. And there's no dialogue or anything around that. So are we going this way? I think we are. We really don't have a lot of room for other things, so... yeah. Here's the door. We're gonna go under the door and then up through here, I guess. And I guess darn it. Let's just knock the guy down and take him out. I feel like I triggered something, a fight there that I could have avoided. And it's a tight area, so it's not like the best fight I've... Like, a rounded corner is not really where you would want something like that. And again, this is going to be a case where the game is probably just going to let me wait until it gets bored of the fighting, and once it's done with the fighting, at that point, it'll let me win. His spinning staff attack is a very high clunky sound, and definitely feels like you might get a slightly higher combo around that. Right, so could I have sprayed on the Robin? No. Could I have placed that? Yes, I could have, and then I could have detonated it right behind him. Alright. I see what they wanted me to do. Of course, the problem with this, I would say, is that Robin is not really a middle ground between the weakness of Catwoman and the strength of Batman. He is much closer to being nearly as strong as Batman, so... And I don't know if I blew up that character, if that would have really changed the number of people attacking me immediately through this door. Yeah, there really isn't that much more map.
Listen up, dumbasses. I want this room kept secure. In fact, I need this room kept secure. I don't care how you do it. Just don't let me go. Mr. J would like it if you failed me, would he? Now he wouldn't. He'd be very upset. He'd probably kill you all. Or break your legs or glue your eyes open or make you eat a grenade. Oh, who am I kidding? He'd do something much better. He was Mr. J, right?
So I wonder if she's just gonna talk forever. We've got a lot of people and some victims. Some hostages. So I don't know if I'm just supposed to take everybody out, because it doesn't look like you're given a real opportunity to she's moving around. I don't know if I'm supposed to be using the stun thing.
Mr. J, boys. Don't let him down.
Right. Here we have another smash to window section. Seems like there's a lot of
Don't
vents.
worry. This is all part of my plan.
Yeah, unless her gun specifically. Yeah, there's a
Anyone
lot
touches
of
my secret base, I want them dead.
passages here. I know my health isn't great. If it was an idea that you were gonna take these 4 or 5 guys, if you're gonna put the explosives on them and then use the explosives to wait until they get close to Harley Quinn, then they needed to show an animation where they would run towards Harley Quinn. Like, honestly, I think your solution here is maybe to just, like so many other instances, just start getting as high as possible. Like, you can't do a ledge takedown on her. Yeah, I didn't realize I was that close to Harley Quinn. Yeah, I don't think you can do a ledge takedown. I don't think you're gonna get anything that's super easy like that.
I don't care how you do it, just don't let me down. Mr. J wouldn't like it if you failed me, would he? No, he wouldn't. He'd be very upset. He'd probably kill you all. Or break your legs or glue your eyes open. Grenade.
Let's see.
Use smoke to get away.
So this guy is on the other edge, and because of that, I can't really take him out.
This way! He went this way!
Let's see. Yeah. What this probably highlights more than anything is just the high difference in
Brain.
how much damage a gun-carrying thug can do. Seems like sometimes they can kill you in 3 or 4 shots, and then sometimes they take a lot longer.
In fact, I need this room kept secure. I don't care how you do it, just don't let me down. Mr. J wouldn't like it if you failed me, would he? No, he wouldn't. He'd be very upset. He'd probably kill you all. Or break your legs or glue your eyes open to make you eat a grenade.
This way! He went this way!
Let's try and climb up
I wonder, I
an
need to
area.
kill ya.
I got him! Over here! I got him!
Alright.
This way! He went this way!
He's over there.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to take on all these guys at this rate. Let's see what happens if we just try and beat up Harley Quinn.
We got him!
Yeah, you just can beat her up. You can't head slam her into the ground.
Oh no! You're all dead! Who's gonna save Batman?
So, yeah, we got to get rid of the snipers. We got to get rid of the gun people. We're going to pretty much ignore the...
In fact, I need this room kept secure.
I think we pretty much just ignore the other guys.
If you failed me, wouldn't you? Now very upset. He'd probably kill you all. I'll break your legs, your eyes open to make you eat a grenade. Oh, my goodness. Something much better. He was Mr. J, right? He always knew what to
We
do.
don't have inverted takedown options.
Relying on you, idiots. So don't fail me.
So, like, ideally we would want to take out that guy, but he's in the wrong place. And see, there's Harley Quinn, so theoretically, what is she doing? She's shooting some kind of gun at, sending out some kind of signal.
He's over there.
She's shooting all kinds of grenades and things at me. Alright. Let's see if we can take this guy out. Come on. Like, ideally, we want to take that guy out. I don't know if there's really any other abilities or anything we've got that is super useful. So she's shooting something. And I know that there's some things around here that might be something. Let's get out of here quickly.
Get in here, boys.
Alright, so we are now down to just like 2 guys. So we might as well.
We're dead.
Interesting.
We're gonna die in here and there's nothing we can do about it. Leave them. We've got more important things to be looking out for. What's wrong? Too scared to show yourself?
Come on. Get a smoke attack. I keep hitting that one wire. They probably wanted a lot more of that kind of gameplay to happen. Alright. Now, maybe this is a case where she's just going to call in more people constantly anyway, so it may not matter if I'm clearing out thugs or not. I guess we should look around and see if there's any possible truth to that. Seeing that moving a crane didn't seem to do anything. Alright. Alright. Where did those guys come from?
I see what you're doing.
Okay.
How are you gonna use those things if they're not here?
So, yeah.
Robin! It's Robin!
It's kind of weird for her to say it's Robin, as if you hadn't figured that out already.
Over here!
Stay still, boy Blunder! I need to kill you!
Alright, come on.
This way! He went this way!
If this works, I'll be very surprised. Alright. So,
I can do this all night!
let's see. Is there... This guy's taking a hostage down. Let's just take her out. She's just floating in the air. Alright, we may still need to save the hostage. Or we may just need to take out this guy. We've been at close to 0 health for a while here, so there's still very much a possibility that we blow this. Okay. So he's this way. We just gotta wait until he's looking the other direction, and then we'll do a stealth takedown. Like the Two-Face battle, just awkward. It kind of highlights how you need the full health and armor of Batman to take on these larger rooms.
You'll never find it, dumbass!
If he sticks his hand in her cleavage.
That's mine! Ugh, let me go!
Yep.
Whatever you say.
I've managed to go a few episodes without having to say this game is sexist, but here we are again.
Get me down, bird brain!
Okay. So just go back to that area. So map-wise, this is literally just
I feel
showing the
dizzy.
outside world. It's totally believable that there would be a balloon in this area. Otherwise, then there are just 6 balloons in the open world that I missed. And that's gonna suck if we have to listen to her cry. But I think that's very much where it is going. And I guess maybe at certain times you could have done a zip kick. Yeah, I don't know how you don't just once again describe that as a very awkward fight sequence, because they just don't know how to program fight sequences.
I feel dizzy.
And she's just dangling. Are any of the other hostages? Like, is there anything to do or say about any of these guys?
I heard Quinn talking about Batman being dead. It's not true, right?
So we can look around here a little bit, but this would be a door to a different area, and we may have to go in circles
Still no
to reach
news
that.
here at Arkham City. There are sketchy reports that
Here we have
Robin
another
was seen
radio.
entering the site only a few hours ago. At this time, we cannot confirm it is true. But if it is, what does this mean for Batman? Does
This
this confirm
honestly
that he's in
feels
trouble
like
in Arkham City? Or is
they
Robin
just
acting
copy
alone?
and pasted
As
some
you
of
may
the
recall, he was
some
present
of
at
the
Gotham General
level
and a
design,
number of
which
other
would be
city
fine.
hospitals on that final fatal day when the truth about Hugo Strange's plan
That door
played out on our TV screens,
may be
and
the
in the
only.
case of this reporter, in front of her eyes. As we now know, Joker's infected blood was delivered to the hospitals and administered to patients, infecting them too.
Hmm.
As far as we know, Batman delivered a cure, and it appears that all known victims of the Joker's plot are responding well.
Thanks.
When I met
Batman tried to save me,
it was
but they
clear
caught him.
he was suffering
I don't know where he is.
Was he infected by Joker?
Interesting.
Is he all right now?
Yeah,
He
it's a little
refused
too
to
much
answer my
for Vicky
questions that
Vale.
night, but if I see him again, you can be sure that I will find out. You're listening to the Vicky Vale Show, Gotham. More that happens here at Arkham City.
I don't see any reason why you couldn't just walk back the way you came, though.
You found Batman yet? I hope he's okay.
Yeah, with the exception of wandering around in these kind of areas, I think we've mostly searched this area.
I feel dizzy.
It would kind of suck if I had to wander through all the way back to this level just to find that one collectible. So let's find out if this door is locked. It isn't. Interesting. There's another balloon, which is weird. Are we going through a different corridor? I don't think we are. There's 4 more balloons, which I think probably does mean we missed one. We'd already been this way. And then this way leads to this way, which again really isn't changing the path at all.
Well, look who it is. Little Robin, come back to play. You ready for us to kick your ass, little bird boy? We don't mind.
Nah, we'll have fun. Break your wings. And your scrawny little neck, too.
Don't be scared. We won't hurt you too bad.
It's interesting. Are they gonna actually fight you, or is there something else here to this idea? Because
Come here and play.
it's weird to have that stealth Harley Quinn sequence,
You
and
chicken
then
Robin?
Who the hell is this fool?
let's see. So here we have a Titan guy, and you have to remember how to get him super confused. Maybe Robin can't control the Titan. This would be way more reasonable as a explanation as to why Batman would get caught. Let me ask this, can we put one of these on somebody, like, while we're fighting, in a combo fight motion? I don't think we can. So this really is just gonna feel like a like that fight that we had before, where there was just an incredibly large amount of people. I can do a shield bash, which maybe that would work fairly well. It seems like it really wants me to focus on the bladed fights first and foremost. Yeah, and I'm about to die. And we're not gonna get any more health. Okay.
Good. I hope it hurts.
Yeah. It would have been easy to have the key in her back pocket or have her just hand the key over. That's what you would have seen in a cutscene instead of him grabbing into her cleavage to steal it.
Well, look who it is.
Yeah.
No Robin.
I am
Back
not
to
sure
black.
You ready for us
what
to
the
kick
goal
your
here
ass
is.
in the-
He's here!
But
Arkham City's gonna be your grave.
the goal, I suppose, would be to
We're gonna rip you apart, Robin.
avoid fights that take damage and get a big enough combo going to maybe start taking out some characters. Which very well may be a case where a character that is armored might be more beneficial. Right. Ultra stun. Beat down. Okay, so it was an idea of getting the Titan. I don't know if the Titan Shockwave. It seems like you have probably enough time to do a Titan Shockwave and a Titan Charge, and that's it. Shockwave. Alright, we've got very little guys left. Alright. And mack him and kill him. It really goes to highlight how this game is very bipolar. Refilled all my health there. Like the total design is half of the developers that make this game want to have these beat down large group fights. Half of the developers want to have the stealth sequences. I think smaller, even easier stealth sequences probably the way to go. More Batman games that were shorter, I think, would be appreciated. That'd be much more in line with the comic book concept. versus video games that feel the need to be 60 to 100 hours long. But yeah, that big beatdown
What
sequence.
kept you?
Ever heard of thank you?
What happened to the cops?
I guess not.
You don't need to worry about them, Bat Brain. They'll be dead soon. Oh, and so will you.
You save the cops. I'll handle the bombs.
Oh, good luck with that, losers!
So yeah, defuse the bombs. We don't even really need to get close to them. Dead bat. Yep. Was there something we needed to hit there?
The workings of this bomb look familiar. I need to shut it down, then examine it.
So you're gonna shut it down by punching it, ripping it apart?
I knew it. The bombs have been built using explosives stolen from the GCPD lockup last week. Harley Quinn hasn't changed the detonation frequency. I'll calibrate the cowl to locate any other objects tuned into this frequency.
So it seems like we're gonna wander around looking for bomb stuff. Meanwhile, is there really a reason to fight?
You're gonna die.
Alright. We have to blow up that. Then we have to run through here. I mean, it definitely felt like it was fairly obvious that this was going to be a stealth sequence. Alright, do we have anyone else we need to even worry about? Doesn't feel like we could be too far away from it at 11 meters. Okay. So these had just been everywhere. Murderer. You're getting kind of a narrative here. And it will just, I suppose, fall upon me to try and figure out how many of these there are, and if this is going to be a large escape sequence or a small escape sequence.
What's the bat doing here?
Yep. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause this recording and then I'll be right back, because I'm not certain if there's like 10 more minutes of gameplay or an hour of gameplay. I suspect it is 10 more minutes, and so I don't want to end this recording here. So I'll just be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I suppose me even thinking that there's 10 more minutes of game is being generous, considering how we have a clock here of 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Come on. These guys just don't want to fight me. That's a unique animation. Let's see. I imagine we can't just go through this door? Or we can. Interesting. So there's a lot of opportunity here, I think, to potentially mess up. Interesting. This door is now broken. That whole area should have been just keep it going. Like, that whole area should have been blocked off up until this point. If they were going to put a bomb here. Let's see, Joker forever. I just cut off a line of dialogue there. Whoops. Hey, there was a guy here. She killed somebody and...
Well, don't. It's not over. You can't stop me. I won't let you. I've got a surprise for you. Something that would make my Joker proud. I'm here with him now. You man enough to come find us?
So we're turning to Joker's shrine to stop Harley Quinn. Yeah, it definitely seems like we are kind of just going in circles at this rate.
Robin can handle the cops. I need to go after the bombs.
We're not even at that point in the story anymore. Like, I don't think Batman has any other ways in which he can maneuver. Like, this gate over here is closed. So, yeah. It seems to me what they're doing is they're having you wander back and forth through the same area just in case you want to make sure you get all of the Joker, all the little Joker question marks, you know, all the balloons, Harley Quinn balloons. Yeah. Do I want to do that, or do I want to go the other direction? Because I think we've kind of been both directions. And we'll switch to this. And then we'll switch that way. I suspect, really, the remaining 4 balloons are just in the overworld. So I would suspect after this, particularly if you were planning on this being integrated into the main game, I'd suspect after this point you would just go back to the overworld and be able to run around, and you would be allowed to run around this area also, just in case you didn't find all the balloons that happened to be here. I feel like there should have been some more Joker teeth lying around also, but I'm not really gonna complain about it being fairly limited in collectibles. It does make the game feel very different from the main game, which had far too many collectibles. In a funny way, that's this whole game in a nutshell, is that you just have far too much of everything. Far too many Riddler trophies, far too much, too many enemies. Not, definitely too little as far as the open world design, and too little as far as Batman enemies, and too little on dialogue. So, yeah, it would be inaccurate to say it's too much on everything. It's too much on a lot of things and too little on a lot of things, which at some point that's just a bad game director focusing on the wrong elements. I assume we're going to just be attacked by either a giant robot character or the smaller robot characters, which Yeah, it would make sense. Seems like she might have caught Robin. But whatever.
What? Did you think it was gonna be that easy? Well, think again, loser! You weren't expecting that, were you?
So you have these small Joker robots.
Haha! Destroy him, my robot!
Alright. Got a problem here. In that she is shooting grenades at you. Which I don't know if that means I'm supposed to use these guys as human shields or what. They do seem to just take a certain amount of damage and then break, which is very different from every other kind of thug in the game, because every other thug really still has that whole knocked down but not knocked out stance where you still have to do a ground takedown or some other form of takedown on them. I'm not sure if we aren't getting more robots though. Let's see. I guess the real question is, can you just run up to where she is and get there? No. Alright. So I assume then I am supposed to be taking these guys out. Unless I'm supposed to be countering the projectile, which that would be really hard to pull off.
This isn't just you, me, and the only thing that can stop this entire place blowing sky high! What's keeping you? Scared to look me in the eye and tell me you suck? Like I didn't see that one coming.
Let's see.
You're gonna have to do better than that, dumbass.
Seems like you're supposed to just counter a kick there.
Give me that.
Take it, dumbass. Won't do you any good.
So she's trying to kill herself with you. In a funny way, this might be Batman saving Harley Quinn.
No.
Where he couldn't save Joker.
You should have left me to die. Then I could have been back together.
She's all scarred up and cut up, which is weird.
Quiet. Where's Robin?
I thought he was with you.
You can't just communicate with Robin with the radio.
It hurts, don't it?
What have you done?
Now you know how it feels.
Notice how much of a butt shot that was. I haven't complained about that too much, but in this animation, they definitely were
safe.
overemphasizing
I'm done here.
her butt while she was
Hey,
trying to
kid.
stab you.
Is he all right?
Yeah, sure. Of course he is.
So Batman doesn't even care about making sure Harley Quinn gets arrested. So I don't think considering how incredibly long the credits were for the main game, I don't think it's worth it to sit through the credits of the Harley Quinn expansion here. Not a terrible extra piece of content, but it doesn't change anything. At the end of the day, Arkham Knight starts at the exact same place it would have started if you didn't play this DLC. I imagine Harley Quinn will still be around and still be upset that the Joker is dead in Arkham Knight. So I don't know if there really is a reason for this DLC to have existed at all. My only thought process and hope here would be that you would get some kind of New Game Plus or reward telling you where those last 4 balloons are. Otherwise, you just have to kind of run around and try and find them, which really isn't worth it because we know we're not going to do all the riddles and everything like that. I thought maybe Vicky Vale would jump in there. But yeah, it honestly seems like you just can play the whole mission again. Yeah, it just starts all over.
You left me to die. You left me to die. You left me to die.
So you may literally just have to play the whole mission in one sitting with a walkthrough to get the collectibles if you were going to get them. Like, you never got any gadget upgrades or anything.
It's Robin. Kill him.
So, like, yeah. It does you the favor of letting you have the having the collectibles already be collected, which is fine, but it doesn't do you the favor of putting you out in the open world or letting you in any way skip sequences. I wouldn't be surprised if there are entire areas that you really just can't re-enter. So yeah, even if you were going to run through all of this.
Idiot! I'm trying to think here.
Does it hurt?
Shut your stupid mouth. You're just lucky I need you later.
Yeah, you're going to have to run through entire sequences first. Just to get into the open world flashback with Batman, and it's only at that point that you really can do anything.
Barb, I found the missing cops. Quinn's got them.
See, this was the final area
sequence. Harley's telling the cops she's got some sort of plan for them. They'll be safe for now.
Be careful.
This'll end okay. I promise.
You think? He's not been the same since...
Yeah, you just get stuck here.
Even talk about Talia
I
or
cannot
Joker.
do
We'll
anything
help
at
him
all.
once we find him.
And
That's all
so
we can do.
on your second playthrough, this is particularly annoying.
GCPD will storm this place. You'll all get killed.
Really? I don't think so.
Crazy.
And unless there was a new game, so this is the same area. No wonder it felt recognizable. There's no New Game Plus here where the robots attack you or anything. They're just being established as something.
She better get over the boss soon. She's turning into a liability.
And what? You thinking of taking over?
Maybe.
That I'd like to see.
Robin, he's here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more game here, really. I really think you're just you would just have to play through it, because the map is not revealed in its totality.
What choice do we have? Harley's gone crazy.
She was crazy before.
And they want to introduce these new concepts in which you can
At least
play,
he's got the bat.
but then you
Once he's
don't
dead,
really even get to use these
she'll calm
concepts.
down.
If anything, this just shows.
Well, look who it is.
Right, so here's
That
where you would use like zip kick to potentially take enemies out instead.
We're here to kill you, Robin.
Take out another guy, take out another guy, take out another guy. Crawl up here. And yeah, at any point you could
Nothing yet. Don't sweat it. If anyone comes this way, I'll make them regret.
you could waste just a lot of time because you've still missed the one
That's
place
not a problem. When I kill this sucker, it'll be cool.
where a collectible is.
Bacon.
This shield,
Nothing.
this gun shield mechanic is very much unused.
Just being friendly here. Trying to help.
And we can see there is actually nothing down here, so
You think it's okay to move in?
Hello?
Hello? Are you there? What's happening?
I don't know who you are. You ain't coming any
Hello?
closer.
Whoever you are, I know you're there.
and
You hear
your
me?
shield
I
ability
know
does
you're
not
there.
really help you
Shoot.
in a lot of like open world areas. I really have no idea how that would actually help you in any of the open world areas. Yeah, I guess you can just straight up leave people if you want, as we're walking towards the next area.
Go on. Pick it up.
No way, man. That thing's dangerous. You saw what it did.
What? It's just a belt.
No, it's Batman's belt.
So what?
Drop
It's
attack.
still just a belt.
He's here! Robin's here!
BY, special combo takedown. I had it, but now I lost it. Come on. Man, you mashed the X button so much here. There you go, take out the armored guy.
I won't even break a sweat on you, boy.
But yeah, you definitely are spending a good 5-10 minutes to get past this first section where X is a strike backwards. I didn't even know that was a thing. Come on. AA strike backwards. No. And then, can you skip this? Doesn't seem like you can. Or if you can skip it, it's just going to take so long to load in the overworld. You can skip it, it just takes forever. Even on a much more modern computer. Yeah, we skip this part.
Just keep the damn site covered. I don't want that mad woman getting out of there. Understand?
I definitely
Harley
would like
Quinn.
to see
How'd you
Jim Gordon played
Well,
as a better
sure?
character.
fall back and stop anyone else getting hurt? I'll handle the rest.
In any Batman game, I think Jim Gordon, should be used better than he was used in the Arkham games. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like you have everything mapped, so here's the problem. Even if I was to go online and look at a map of where every single Harley Quinn balloon was, I would have to either personally mark off places I know I already found a balloon, or go to every specific place where there is a balloon. Because there's no way to know which ones are the ones I haven't collected. And I don't think that's worth our effort. No.
One way or another, those cops are dead.
And this would be a sequence where playing as Catwoman would definitely not really benefit you any. Like, there's no way Catwoman could yeah, there's no way Catwoman could beat through this area. I suppose it is also worth mentioning that, like, Batwoman obviously should be in these games. Like, because Batwoman really is not connected to Batman at all. He's not a ward like the Robins. He's not an archvillain of Catwoman. Batwoman kind of does her own thing completely. She could easily just be a skin replacement for Batman. And you could easily write the story where, alright, you're playing as Batwoman, and it could be, frankly, an alternate universe female Bruce Wayne equivalent, which those do exist. There definitely is an alternate universe in the DC universe where all the males are females and all the females are males. So you could go that route instead of having Batwoman from previous instances in which she's depicted and she is her own character completely. But either one works very well, and then that at least allows you to play as your Fem Shep version of the game. Doing all of that, however, did not bring us up even 1 percentage point. And I think part of the problem there is because we started a new game, we would have to finish the entire story again to get the progress back up to 100%. Doesn't seem like there's a new story plus element that would play any role there. Probably the same is to be said for the Riddler's Revenge downloadable content and the Riddler's Revenge stuff. It's kind of a shame that there isn't a way to see the achievements in this game. And so yeah, I'll just have to leave it there. We are in a weird position, certainly, as we in this series, in that Batman Arkham City is fine. It's not great, though. It's not as good as Arkham Asylum by any means. We should have played Arkham Origin before this game, which I don't even own that one on Steam. But if we move into Arkham Knight, which we'll eventually get to doing that, where you know that is probably going to be even a bigger disappointment than this was. So it is one of these rare examples where you don't even have a good sequel to a trilogy, and then you also have a spin-off game made by a different company that they don't even consider part of the trilogy. So yeah, the history behind the Arkham series, more than anything, is that it was one of the worst games ever released on Steam, so much so that they introduced the 2-hour no question asked Steam refund policy. So if you played a game under 2 hours, no questions will be asked. You can just ask for a refund of that game. And it is sullied the Batman name. So whatever new Batman series that comes out, short of something being a Batman Lego series or a Batman Telltale series, you're going to have that bitter taste in your mouth of Arkham Knight, and a lot of people are going to be very wary to not pre-order or buy the next Batman game on day one. Warner Brothers is in the middle of being acquired, I think, by Disney at this point. If not Disney, yeah, I think it is Disney. So we have no idea when the next Batman game would even be greenlit, if it will ever be greenlit. Which clearly there should have been a Batman game since even Arkham Knight, because that was several years ago, as of this recording. And yeah, I don't know if you fixed the Arkham series. I think my recommendation still is just play the first game and think of it as a charming experiment with some flaws, and just be done with it. Don't play the extra content in Arkham Knight, in Arkham Asylum, and don't move forward with the story, because you're only setting yourself up for disappointment. And after Arkham Asylum, just play Lego Batman 1 and 2. That it'll give you a very different type of Batman, but I think a more interesting Batman. And me personally, I think I'm going to go try and play the Batman Telltale game, which would be all dialogue and text, to just balance out the fact that there is very little dialogue and text in this game. Anyways, that's it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.